faces again. Let me spell Tarkieee. Yes, as many as much as you want to put in there. Thursday. It's funny how a lot of us can't believe it's Thursday. We just cast our votes on Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. God, it's amazing how these days are getting fast and all. Anyways, guys, this never coming out to go to live news. And then if I have the news, let me give you guys this gist here. So the thing is, I'm gonna be at this neighbor who give you guys like awful compliments. Like join us on our reaction. I have like this gist for you on our reaction today. Amazing one, amazing one. But anyways, guys, welcome you guys to go to live news. I bring you updates concerning music across the country. And moving on today, we begin our news today with Wizkid. For Wizkid, yeah, I'm sure by now Wizkid fans are not surprised because if you are still surprised, they should flog you here. FC, they should flog you here. Because as it were, your fave is the author of disappointment. I love to call it that way. Anyway, moving on, we saw where for Wizkid, we saw where he will be headlining at the Rolling Loud January 2023 alongside Arasta and Fireboy, and then he's set to perform with them. We saw him. I was going to perform on Friday alongside Fireboy, Color Black, Layla, Ozevert, Soldier Boy, like great guys. Then Saturdays by Kendrick Lamar, and Sunday will be by Travis Scott. Amazing guys, but yeah, Wizkid we know for sure he's headlining the one on Friday. Amazing one for him at the time that happened. Moving on, we see for the Afro Nation, the phase two arrived, and then we have amazing name on this one. Funny enough, we have the three goats headlining 3 different days. Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido. Wizkid came headlining on Thursday alongside Shakir Benson, Tacy, MS Banks, Tyler, Victoni, Black Sheriff. Thursday is that day you don't want to miss because for this guy, and yeah, this is happening in Portugal, so obviously Afrobeat is going to Portugal, and these guys are headlining that one. Amazing one for them, making Africa proud, making the culture proud. Moving on, we saw for Whiskey, we saw the point where he dropped the More Love Let's Go album, which had Money and Love Balance, Bad to Me, Too Sugar, Everyday Slip and Slide, Deep Flower Pad, Wow, Pressure, Plenty Loving, Special, Frames, Who's Gonna Know. And then to start with here, this album was one album that people waited for like forever. Because a lot of people were like, drop this album, drop the album, drop the album, drop the album. Whiskey decided not to drop it. And then finally, he was going to drop at the set date. The date came, he didn't drop it. He chose another date again. And at the time, a lot happened. It was period where they've lost a son, so it was understandable the fact that he had to postpone that one. And finally, the album came, dropped, and a lot of persons were having to the album. Though some persons have their reservations about the album, saying it is not as cool as Made in Lagos, but yeah, people still love the album. The album is doing good numbers, so people are vibing to that one. We saw where he announced the tour just after he dropped the album, and then he sent MLL 2023 to North America. Ticket on sales November 18th. So what this meant is back down from the 18th day of November 2022, people are buying tickets. Yeah, and then this is March 2nd. So people have bought tickets from November, December, January, February, and then about 4 months plus people have been buying tickets to make sure they don't miss Wizkid's show and Wizkid tour. And it's gonna begin. It's all to begin tomorrow, March 3rd at Houston, then 4th Dallas, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Washington, all through to April 7th at Los Angeles. And obviously, more dates are also going to be announced on the tour. Moving on, we saw where Wizkid came out to say, for one person that will be joining me on this tour is Ruga. Obviously, all people were happy. Afrobeats was a win-win for us because yeah, Ruga was that person that one of the revelations we have at the moment. So Ruga going on tour with Wizkid was going to do a lot for his career at the time. So it was more like let's start this tour already because we can't wait to see this guy do what he does best on set. And for Ruga, yeah, at the point, sorry, Ruga was complaining about the fact that girls were all over him trying to abuse him on stage. But I think he just grew over that because at this time, Ruga is the one doing the stuff on stage and everything. So Ruga and Wizkid on stage was something all fans really wanted to see come out. But yeah, I told you guys the author of Disappointment came out and said, you know what, for me, for his team, he said he had this report out saying due to unforeseen logistical circumstances to the Wizkid More Love Lissy Go tour has been postponed to fall 2023. And the fall means that August, September, thereabout. And then he said all ticket purchase for the originally scheduled shows will be honored on the new dates at the respective venues. Stay tuned for more information. Love, Wiz. So you're postponing the tour from March to about August, September. So what happened to April, May, June, July? I don't know. I think it's for FC to just go and call yourself. FC, if you know, go and call. If you should come here, you want to call me, I'll call me. But then the fact is, Wizkid disappointed fans again because people are waiting to see what tomorrow will look like, and then just hours to the day, just hours to the show, and barely 24 hours again. you come up to announce that. Anyways, I'm sure you guys, like I said, you guys are used to that already. If you're surprised at this point, trust me, you are not a Wizkid fan. Moving on, we have Root Boy talking about the half of his square doing good for himself. At the point we saw where for Root Boy is one person who has taken the election of Nigeria. So like he took it so personal. It was his case. He took it on his head. Like it was one person who was advocating for a particular candidate to win the election. We saw where he actually came all out for Sheon Kuti at the point where it was a whole long dragging, a whole long dragging where he called Sean Kuti names. Sean called him names, and at the point he went to the family, and then we saw where Made Kuti came out. Came out to address Peter, saying, "Good afternoon, please do not use me as a tool to slight, insult, or badmouth my uncle." Talking about Sean Kuti, he said, "I'm not sure how we are perceived, so I should clarify. We stay united as a family, and we intend on keeping it that way. Thank you." So he's saying that's talking about Made Kuti saying, "Rude boy, what you say is cool, but then." Don't use me as a tool to spite my uncle because I respect him and then we're united as a family. So that was his own way of saying, stay your lane, my day, my lane, if you understand what that means. But yeah, we saw where the election came and people voted on the Friday, the Saturday, and INEC announced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the presidential election. And that raised a lot of eyebrows for some persons. They felt they were rigged. For some persons, they felt people had their observations about that. But yeah, INEC has announced him as the president-elect for the office of the number one citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But yeah, King Good actually came out to actually add his own opinion. First and foremost, he said, Omo E. And if you're not, if to our Nigerian fans, to our outside Nigerian fans who don't understand what that means, Omo E means like how do I say, like calling your attention, like come and see, like Omo. There's a way we do like in the country where you say Omo, like I don't have to explain it. Just ask someone that you know in Nigeria, yeah. But then he said some people they big brother now, and for their minds, they are training. Obviously, by now, the way status quo used to be, if you're in the house at this time, you should be trending. You should be trending. Something should make you trend. We have some guys we have the Yemi who are doing stuff, and they ought to be trending, but it's sad that they are not trending. And then he's saying, "Wow, that is surprising." So moving on, he says, "I'm here to see video of people celebrating that he won, especially the people in the north as usual with their bike parade on the street and all." And it's acting like I don't know, saying the way it works is when a candidate wins, especially when he gets numbers from the north, you have people from the north doing parade and all of that with their bikes and chanting the guy's name and all. But this time it's different. So he's saying what is happening because he's surprised that people are not chanting. Maybe you've seen videos. Let us know in the comment sections or where you've seen it and people are chanting. Let us know, and maybe we'll forward it to PSquare to Root Boy and see maybe you should probably get his fact right. And all. Moving on from that one, we have Fireboy DML on the news. Fireboy that's talking about Damola doing good for himself. So he actually amassed about 3 billion total career streams and for himself. Like I'll tell you guys, not every artist gets to achieve this. We've seen artists who have been in the game for 10 years. It's cool to see they might not even have got about 1 billion. But yeah, Fireboy, young guy, getting 3 billion is an amazing one for him. Doing good for himself. We saw where Fireboy Playboy album Eats 400 million streams on Spotify, and then Fireboy first album to hit the mark, and fifth Afrobeat album overall to hit the mark on Spotify. We saw for the Banana video, amazing video directed by boy director TJ Mori. Sidekick was on this video talking about Ashake, and they made this was one video that at the time it dropped was an amazing one of the best at that time when it came out. A lot of person gave accolades to this video. Don Jazzy came out making his own had his own beat saying this video was top notch and all of that. And then we saw where that video actually amassed 60 million views on YouTube, and amazing one for them when that one dropped. Moving on, we saw where the LTG project Laughter, Tears and Goosebumps amassed about 180 million streams on Audio Mark. Amazing one for him. And then for Fireboy, one thing we know about this guy is the fact that they have a boss who support them. Olamide is one guy who's always there for all of them. Talking about Ashake, Fireboy, he's always there for them. So they go on tours, you see him there. They go to greet people, you see him there. They're invited, you see him there. So he's that guy who supports and encourages all of them. So where Olamide was one person was with the plaque and making all lot of gestures about this when they received their plaque for their certification for eating platinum in the US. And I'm just happy about that one. And then there was picture of the team where they all were jubilating with that one. Peru eating platinum in the US really is an amazing one and a big deal for Fireboy and the entire team. And moving on, we saw where Fireboy DML now amassed about, I think he has joined the Golden Club, yeah, with about 500 million plus total stream. Amazing one for him. Now, solid albums and half a billion stream. Congratulations to superstar Playboy Fireboy DML as he hits 500 million total streams on Boomplay. told you guys this, it's really difficult. It's you probably don't know how this is. You probably want to do music or something, and then you post something and in 1 week you're seeing like just 50 people seeing it. But then 500 million is a whole big deal. And then as Gusto will say, congratulations, Fireboy, we wish you the best, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for you guys. Remember I said I have a gist for you. Just for reaction when I give a gist about that neighbor will give me a very, very lousy compliment. And those guys, I'll catch you the very next one. Stay safe, guys, and be careful.